The morning sun filtered through the grove, bathing the assembly in warm light. Disciples gathered around, awaiting Buddha's teachings. A gentle breeze carried the sweet aroma of blossoms, blending with the anticipation of wisdom soon to be shared. Among the disciples stood Nanda, troubled by inner turmoil. His expression revealed a heart burdened by self-judgment and doubt. "Buddha," Nanda said, his voice trembling slightly, "I cannot free myself from the pain of judging my imperfections harshly." The Buddha regarded Nanda with kindness, his eyes reflecting compassion that soothed even the deepest fears in others. "Why do you believe your imperfections define your worth?" Buddha asked, his voice steady and inviting reflection. Nanda hesitated, lowering his gaze. "I feel unworthy of peace because my flaws overshadow everything good within me." The Buddha raised a hand, gesturing toward a large stone nearby. "Lift this stone and carry it with you." Confused but obedient, Nanda lifted the heavy stone, cradling it awkwardly as his shoulders sagged under its weight. "Now, walk with it around the grove," the Buddha instructed, his gaze unwavering yet gentle. Nanda stumbled as he obeyed, the stone growing heavier with each step. Sweat began to bead on his brow. After a few moments, Buddha called Nanda back and gestured for him to put the stone down. Relief washed over Nanda as he released the burden, his arms aching from holding the weight. "How do you feel, Nanda?" Buddha asked, his tone calm but probing, inviting deeper insight. "I feel lighter, Blessed One, but my arms ache, and my energy is drained from carrying the stone," Nanda replied. Buddha nodded, his gaze thoughtful. "Your judgments are much like this stone, a burden you choose to carry unnecessarily." He gestured toward the grove, its symmetry interrupted by errant branches, an analogy to the nature of imperfection itself. "Life offers lessons," Buddha said softly. "The illusion that one must be perfect to be deserving of peace and happiness." He gestured to the blossoms overhead, their vibrant petals catching the sunlight. "Do these flowers judge themselves for being imperfect?" The disciples studied the blossoms, their beauty evident despite occasional wilted petals or uneven shapes. "They simply are," Buddha continued. "A man walking through dense fog," Buddha said, focuses only on shadows, convinced they are obstacles barring his path. The disciples considered Buddha's analogy, their minds opening slowly yet powerfully to comprehend the illusions they often entertained. "But how do I stop these thoughts, Blessed One?" Nanda asked, his voice tinged with desperation. "To stop judgment, one must first see its true nature," Buddha said, his voice carrying both authority and compassion. He pointed to the reflection of the trees in a nearby puddle, distorted by ripples from a falling leaf. "When you observe the reflection, do you curse the water for its distortion?" Buddha asked. "No, Blessed One," Nanda replied, realizing the lesson unfolding before him. "In the same way, do not curse your mind for its imperfections," Buddha said. "Simply observe without attachment." The disciples leaned in, their expressions intent, absorbing every word with the hope of easing their inner struggles. Buddha took a slow step forward, his movements deliberate, his robe flowing like water breaking upon river stones. "Picture a river," Buddha instructed. "It simply flows around it," Buddha said. Nanda felt tears prick his eyes, his heart touched by the clarity of the metaphor shared by Buddha. "But what of mistakes, Blessed One? How do we reconcile them with the desire for growth?" Nanda asked. "Mistakes are lessons," Buddha replied, his tone gentle yet firm. "Each one guides you, much like the stone you carried." He gestured toward the grove once more, the blossoms swaying in the breeze, resilient despite their delicate appearance. "A shadow," Buddha continued, "exists briefly before the light moves forward. Let your mistakes become shadows, not anchors. Forgive yourself as you would forgive a dear friend," Buddha said, Show compassion to the parts of you that struggle. Every breath is an opportunity to release judgment and embrace acceptance, Buddha added. His voice soft like the breeze. Nanda nodded. His mind clearer now, though he knew the journey ahead would still challenge his resolve. Remember, compassion is not weakness but strength, Buddha said. It is the balm that heals the wounds of the mind. Imperfections, Buddha said, are not barriers to growth but paths leading you toward the truth of your interconnectedness with life. He paused, sensing the harmony between himself, his disciples, and the unseen presence of timeless understanding in the grove. Release your attachment, Buddha instructed, not only to your errors but to your successes. For both are transient shadows. Subala, Kema, and Ananda exchanged brief glances, recognizing the collective wisdom unfolding in the unity of Buddha's teaching. Buddha's voice carried through the grove, effortlessly intertwining simplicity with vast and unending layers of profound truth. Let repetition be your teacher, Buddha concluded softly. Within each cycle lies the wisdom to free yourself entirely. The Buddha sat beneath a large Bodhi tree, his presence exuding tranquility that silenced even the restless thoughts of his followers. Today, we shall walk to the lake nearby, the Buddha announced, his voice calm and steady, carrying no urgency. The disciples followed closely as they walked along a well-trodden path, their steps echoing the rhythm of their breathing. Upon reaching the lake, its waters stretched before them, mirroring the sky with perfect clarity and serene stillness. The Buddha gestured toward the lake, inviting his disciples to gather around its edge, their reflections dancing upon its surface. Each of you, gaze into the water and tell me what you see, the Buddha said, his voice gentle yet purposeful. The disciples obeyed, leaning over the water's edge, their faces etched with curiosity and hints of apprehension. I see my face. As it is, said one disciple, his voice tinged with uncertainty about the simplicity of his observation. I see the sky reflected, the clouds moving slowly, another added, his gaze fixed on the ever-changing patterns above. I see the trees standing tall and unyielding, said a third, marveling at the stillness they exuded despite the wind. Nanda hesitated, his heart filled with dread. He feared confronting his own reflection in the lake's unjudging surface. The Buddha approached Nanda, his eyes filled with compassion, recognizing the turmoil that gripped his disciple's mind. What troubles you, Nanda? The Buddha asked, his voice soft but penetrating, cutting through the walls of Nanda's resistance. I fear what I may see. Blessed One, Nanda admitted, his voice trembling with the weight of his inner struggle. The Buddha knelt beside him, his presence steadying, a reassuring anchor amid the storm raging within Nanda's heart. Tell me, does the lake refuse to reflect even the most imperfect of images? The Buddha asked, his tone inviting reflection. No, Blessed One, Nanda replied, glancing toward the water, his heart beginning to calm under the influence of Buddha's words. Picture yourself walking, Buddha instructed. You hesitate not because the path is blocked, but because you doubt your steps themselves. The lake does not judge what it reflects, the Buddha continued, gesturing toward the water, its surface undisturbed and peaceful. Be like the lake, Nanda. Reflect what is within you without judgment, without condemnation, the Buddha said, his voice unwavering. The disciples listened intently, their hearts resonating with the simple yet profound wisdom unfolding before them at the lake. Compassion begins when judgment ends, the Buddha explained. To see oneself clearly, one must first set aside the lens of criticism. A soft breeze rippled across the lake, creating gentle waves that momentarily disrupted the reflections on its surface. Observe the ripples, the Buddha said, his voice calm. It darkens not your spirit but your perspective when held too tightly. He paused, his presence embodying both timeless wisdom and the unconditional compassion of truth shared. Without judgment, they are merely ripples on the surface, passing and insignificant when compared to the depths of your being, the Buddha added. Nanda felt his heart lighten, his fear replaced by a growing sense of acceptance. A small but significant step forward. Now, tell me, Nanda, how would you treat a friend who struggles as you do? The Buddha asked, redirecting his focus. I would offer them kindness, understanding, and encouragement, Nanda replied, his voice more steady than it had been earlier. Then why do you deny yourself the same kindness, the same understanding? The Buddha asked, his tone filled with compassion. The disciples pondered this question, recognizing within themselves the same tendency to withhold compassion from their own hearts. Forgive yourself, Nanda, the Buddha said. See yourself as a friend in need of love, not as an enemy to chastise. Acceptance is the path to liberation, the Buddha continued. It is not resignation but recognition of one's true nature. The sun rose higher in the sky, casting its golden light upon the lake, the reflections shimmering with new vibrancy. Remember, Nanda, self-compassion is not indulgence, the Buddha said. It is the courage to embrace yourself as you are. Nanda's eyes filled with tears, not of sorrow but of gratitude, his heart touched by the profound wisdom shared with him. The other disciples watched, inspired by Nanda's vulnerability and the Buddha's unwavering guidance toward healing and acceptance. You are not alone in this struggle, the Buddha said, addressing all the disciples. Each of you carries burdens unseen by others. Let this lake remind you to reflect without judgment, the Buddha said, and let its clarity guide you towards self-compassion. As the disciples gazed at the water, they began to see themselves differently, their hearts lighter with newfound understanding. Nanda, too, gazed into the lake, his reflection no longer a source of fear but a reminder of his humanity. The journey toward self-compassion was far from over, but for the first time, Nanda felt he had taken a true step forward. Let the past teach you, Buddha concluded softly. Its cycles, when observed with humility, reveal the freedom to break them. The air was cool and refreshing, filled with the songs of birds and the occasional rustling of leaves as animals moved unseen. The Buddha paused beneath a great banyan tree, its branches sprawling like a canopy, inviting the disciples to rest and reflect. Do you see this path? Buddha asked, gesturing to the winding trail they had traversed, its twists and turns barely visible ahead. The disciples nodded, observing the uneven terrain, the bends and inclines that challenged their footing yet guided them forward. It climbs, it twists, and it turns, Buddha continued, his voice calm, yet it leads forward, toward a destination unseen. He knelt beside the path, lifting a small stone, its surface smooth yet bearing marks of its journey through time. This stone did not choose its shape, Buddha said, holding it in his palm. It was shaped by its experiences. The disciples gathered closer, captivated by the simple yet profound truth embodied in the stone Buddha held. Your flaws are like this stone's marks, Buddha explained. They tell the story of your journey, not your worth. Nanda stepped forward, his expression thoughtful but hesitant. Blessed One, how do I reconcile my flaws with my desire for peace? Buddha's gaze softened, his presence radiating understanding. To reconcile them, you must first see them as teachers, not obstacles. He gestured toward the towering banyan tree, its roots sprawling across the ground, gnarled yet supporting its vast structure. Do these roots judge themselves for their twists and turns? Buddha asked. Or do they simply fulfill their purpose? Number. Blessed One, Nanda replied, beginning to see the metaphor within the ancient tree's intricate design. In the same way, your flaws are part of your foundation, Buddha said. They support your growth, not hinder it. The disciples nodded, their hearts touched by the wisdom of embracing imperfections as integral to their journey. Buddha then took a small bowl, filling it with water from a nearby stream, its surface reflecting the sunlight. "This water may seem clouded," Buddha said, holding the bowl aloft, "but let it settle, and its clarity returns." He placed the bowl before the disciples, inviting them to observe the gradual stilling of the water, its clarity emerging. "Your mind is like this water," Buddha explained. "It must be allowed to settle, to rest in compassion, not turmoil." Nanda watched the water closely, its transformation mirroring his own realization of the need for patience and self-compassion. "But how do I find compassion for myself when my flaws feel overwhelming?" Nanda asked, his voice tinged with doubt. Buddha's gaze remained steady, his words deliberate. "Compassion begins by accepting what is, without resistance, without judgment." He pointed to the forest surrounding them, its beauty formed by imperfections, each element contributing to the whole. "Do you see the crooked tree standing among the straight ones?" Buddha asked. "Does it diminish the forest's beauty?" "Number, Blessed One," Nanda replied, his heart stirring with newfound understanding of the interconnectedness of perfection and imperfection. "Then why should your flaws diminish your worth?" Buddha asked, his tone inviting reflection and self-acceptance. The disciples pondered this question, their expressions revealing the stirrings of wisdom and growth within their hearts. "Gratitude is the path to acceptance," Buddha said. "Gratitude for the lessons, for the journey, for the flaws that shape you." He gestured to the ground, its uneven surface dotted with stones, roots, and patches of grass. "Each step teaches mindfulness. When you stumble, do not curse the stone that trips you," Buddha said. "Thank it, for it teaches awareness." The disciples nodded, their hearts resonating with the profound simplicity of finding gratitude even in moments of difficulty. Nanda's shoulders softened, the weight of his self-judgment beginning to lift as he embraced the wisdom shared by Buddha. Buddha's voice carried through the forest, blending with the sounds of nature, each word echoing the promise of liberation. "You are worthy, Nanda, not because of perfection, but because of your existence, your humanity, your journey," Buddha said. As the disciples rested under the banyan tree, they felt the warmth of the sun on their faces, a reminder of hope. For Nanda, the path to acceptance was clear but not easy, yet he was ready to take each step with courage. The Buddha's words lingered, guiding his disciples toward healing, their hearts lighter as they embraced the teachings of self-compassion. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.